what I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, o see them yopo.
Into when you need some oil pepper.
Come on, until say obey there. In fact, don't fear them. Timing because on ye.
But I say any priority, near my priority, apomodini, a juma, nini keka. And also,
I say, Chama, any order that you know. I buy being who about which my idea, my man for a pet. You know, we that. Mean sit that. And that who said, we are still being at the open be done and we are say, Chama. And that is why I say I buy you cry and trust with Juma. In fact, Mahama about 4 years, in the first 4 years. Come on, I money now here, but you're doing no no to be here now. It is never true. Sir, yes, it's true. You're here, Apomodi. You suku call one some here, ya kwanya some here. But and LGBTQ so there, and so here. Now, when crowd, and you be a Kayi who crowd. Because any day, a bank crying, Shadam Contest can be a mood do. So if a buying team 3 billion. Over 3 billion Ghana cedis, or the quiet, which is good. Now, Shaman, I are buying more can do even. I'm not sure buying more can do about 1 million Ghana cedi crap. So say a government the best sponsor bill.
Yeah.
Now government the best sponsor bill. Yeah. Where is the cost? There's no cost. And I am one say, so buying the best sponsor bill. Yeah. Is he saying na? Ne day my to me any. But the ama. Yeah, intimate na man pinya baka me ati ase enya de ehia no
na so wa che ni ntia ehia no
of course ya ti ase chairman ehia no because ehia no dia oba ye niam ehia no na wo ye ho adwuma ara me boa
the reasons very normal say
ehia no
acheche mu say enye priority because odwen apomodeni odwen adwuma nsem or drink send the economy ni be ye and no those niamani bi wo ho a priority man saying LGBTQ.
But you see, Chairman, no question they say. Emi obi a asam na kora mi ntimi nkata so. Sa na tie pa de a. And I will say sorry to the previous government.
Are they?
Because you see, and some of me metina wo fidie so kan at that time some members of the ruling government and Kayi, including even the president himself. I bet a topical issue in Ghana about whether or not President Kufuor as a sign Emrano and I said only can sign Emrano. The Kayi, sometime na you were Kufuor. No, the free education, but Anamboa. Now, OC Agenda 111, which is 111 hospitals. And I guess for the first time in the history of this country, you won't be sad that NTP that. In fact, that time now, Ugakwan who does Pokwase interchange, now or a motorway, now or must Winneba Road. In fact, Beach Road is no must I mean, you offer Dodo World Road. Nani construction air coso. Niama Yakan was a Juma 7, a hospital 7, a school 7. But yet it became a topical issue. But my question is that Yero Mahama Smokai, and this one person can you work for the cancer time now? Emre Chomanka, Pacho, Kainian, no more Kasei. As support to a defending Kasana Comacano and this before.
Now, Charles and Gadena Becker.
Shaman, the American one and Kamakan Pepe. Say, my disappointed. If we say, Yero Kufuor, call London, and I think only Al Jazeera for an interview. Now, all kind of so LGBTQ, no, Ghana, no agitation, share down courses, and you know, intimate, can't want them to say until says our time, ready, it be true. Come me bufu papa. Me bufu papa. It is a net. See, we are for the cancer time, no. And my minion man this for a sorry so. Fortunately, even under the end this year, you're a baby. That's what you speak of Parliament. And I'm what?
No correct.
Osha and Kofoko sponsor bill now, parliamentarians now. And this is for the doors to MPP before. And I'm what?
No correct.
MPP they say I think say you know team for John Wayne. You know
I think so.
Nipa be 5 na kan.
7 against 1.
7 against 1, yes. Nipa 7 ina no de. Omo ina no ye no this for. God in his wisdom Ope say Yura Mahama be bibi sonko o man munti. E koto aba no. For the first time in the history of this country, chairman. Yenya super majority a aban a otu sisi ye. Bibi bia e na koma so eye ne priority. De na na koma so person ye o man Ghana. E say go through parliament there. Chairman obetimi ayam na yi.
Okay.
If it's an no nan komodie bi kosofa is it chief whip any a majority leader OSP in sense ho
yeah
how it is say omampani sabe ato nkra say anamontu bi omotu bia no omotu break ananya sa
yeah
enti sabe so ye omampani say ye I come here to say ye ne hia de nti I mean and me call say ye ne hia de senka nan ka ye ne hia de de a enka me owura bagbin ensia wo gina ye ene ehun sama waka in Ghana and outside Ghana programs ahodo wanya nyina de waka say ni pen so ono ni pen so as bagbin ni pen so obe make sure say ebitima pass na we ma de wakobi oye at the time MPP for the bill no MPP time a bill no call ya na omu debate ho na MPP for no bi tia NDC for no bi tia ne ho anwan na ekoso no yero ba bin kan say wa wo free say onya de ntomo pejam sa men hwe o ye ntoma pejam
or your head count
clearly shows say enipa dodo ana e wo parliament ho no mu nyina aja ade ne den etum chairman
yeah
enipa he na free mu na mpacho free ma shebe dwam obetima ka eju kan say dodo na da so den e wo ho e de bi e den
abeka ho
Minti sem na shebedwafo no se saadi ehun ye hia de ma obiem e mo munya omampani oda oman nyina no na so kan se mpo se o me de me o omampani sabe minti mi ko so bill no parliament me mu be da manim ko ade a me de ma hyebo me de me nsabe den e be hya ase
yeah
taman ka sem bi ani ho na mom se obeka se de da wakoma so na de hia wo sesi ye wo hwa ma o man Ghana ne se economy ni be yie ye suku ko be yie ye hospital sem be yie na ani mom ni hia wo de a chama na ke so mampania so kan no ye no bi woni ye ni yie efi se I have said it the message repeat be me I voted for him me troba mano me mfere se me troba mano me troba mano me to man because of sasem no kan ya a trauma koma so na all ka sasem so no o kan nyame nkrofo nyina den anim ena sabe wa be kan de o den wa kan kire yin na me hu se sabe asofo mpanifo bibiri akasa menim se yama mpani oti asem maybe the okan no I'm sure so be san kwa dadwe ho bi na the bosha wo share ne manfo say ni pain so the ogidia ne say oba ye oba obema ye obema ne yes so obema ni obema ware any oba ni oba ware no chama odi osie den ebe yo
Charles Owusu made us say time check 20 minutes to 10 o'clock. Peace 104.3. Na Charles Kasana Yunya Bema Harrison Kojo Abba or your communications officer Nad Mobekayo Harrison Matia Kwaba.
Chairman Yoso.
Boko there.
Chairman Boko.
Yeah, then Yamiasi. Atik, any comment on LGBT?
Chairman Midasi, Lady Kayi, Mamin Chow, Chairman Yonumina.
Yeah, Joso.
Charles dear. On the Minu Prakupenti on the Libya Minuna. Na Mincha, the Republic of Gambaga Funina. Chairman, me, I do crowd because of your friend.
I really want.
I
mean, to her.
Gambaga for who enemy.
Chairman, look, Mamisha is in free the point of a manual for doing things to lose that things that nibble away the confidence of the Ghanaian public in politics and politicians, generally speaking. Sure, Chairman. About to we Sabi says, yeah, quite to say, Yen Chandro, Nento Abanamai, Yabana, Yeni Epe. But that is not what politics is all about. Politics is about genuinely presenting alternatives. Na electors no ashim, amongst the many alternatives no near almost say a bebuawum. I was very vehement in my commentary against the then president Akufo-Addo on this particular issue of LGBT. Chairman, Obedi Adansi here. Yebaha, every vehemence my energy could command. Na me de kan ehwansem. And because wanya de say adini ya yehwe dwuma de abro. And to the extent say Ghana for dudu na na see adi yempe. And how do you generate policies? You look at the needs of the people and then you come up with plans on how to work on certain needs, and one different policy, And it's a Ghana for dudu na see yempe. The expectation is a young rakrana and kamampini on Chinchonso. But wanya until Beya Manuel Ena Ora John Dramani Mahama, then a candidate. Ekazonu the way he was speaking as if Obape in the second day of his presidency, yeah, the brain crank or best sign.
That's why I say it died with the old parliament.
Maybe what I'm trying to say, the way he spoke, it gave you the impression, say, Oba, it is going to be one of the topmost priority items on his agenda. Because metaphorically speaking, now as a the brain and adichia after his inauguration, a best sign. And then Mampenya catch and say he's no longer a priority for him. Young Kotia, until I'm sure that Ebisa say, what are the things he consider as priority? NLC, health, education, economy. Chairman, when have these issues never been priority? Every Abembia Sabi Abemfumbia, these are what they claim are their priorities. And yes, sir. But these are rare issues. Look, LGBT issue doesn't come up in every election. In fact, these are actually the issues you consider priority because the routine ones in India, because how would you have your budget passed if they are not going to focus on health, education, infrastructure and the rest of that? These are normal routine. Look, soldier buying AAB. Constitutional governments have done that and they will continue to do. But these rare issues are urban. That is what Enuna tested the leadership of your pension for. Now say where ba who can want some in opposition. Emma be brenage now or mujina so etu abama. Look, nobody can discount the impact of the LGBT issue in the victory of Owura John Dramani Mahama. And I've always made the point that look, Owura Bawumia suffered a great deal, partly because of the choices of Owura Akufo-Addo, especially his attitude towards the LGBT issue. Waba waka amagana for Jatum say oh would you buy a idea obey. Waba was a priority. And what he fails to understand is that there's a nexus between this issue and the very issues he claims are priorities. No, Chairman, when him say, "Sa trumu."
Oh, Atik.
Oh, tit. Wadaruma.
Atik.
Sa tit in some
Yes, so.
No, one say Udi Kankasana. Then the rest now.
David. Okay. David.
Chairman, Timinkan say na man for better for TS.
David, I'm TS pa.
Aha. Sa in some aye can was some tit in some semi. There is a direct correlation between that and our health outcomes. Chairman, him say you cut the prevalence of STIs, any HIV is a very high among some crofona or moyes animal. You can, and you see, once you have the prevalence of these things amongst subpopulation, what happens is that it places a drag on your health financing.
But whilst you're there, it places a drag on your health financing. Baby was saying, let's ask ourselves, what is the percentage of homosexuals in this country? Youth unemployment is a much more bigger problem than homosexuality. A young person who is more likely to be employed than to become, who is unemployed, well, a young person is more likely to be unemployed than to be gay.
But you see, the two are related. An unemployed young man can end up being gay. They said, it is a choice because of issues of,
economic issues.
Economic issues. So you can't divorce the two. They are very much interrelated. And the very issues he claims are priority, have a nexus with this very issue. Until America echo about the prevalence of HIV and other STIs, Chairman him say cancer and cancer sabi. Inner cancer.
Yes.
And no, it is now pervasive in Ghana amongst us population because we've allowed this to continue. Cancer, but there are some things that are winya because of your choices. Into a bar cancer treatment in as if for say cancer treatment, it is on the public purse. Government is taking care of chemotherapy. As if for either it is subventing and it is even fully paying for the cost of chemotherapy. As if for then a cost to the state. And you won't even can't say you are focused on health. Meanwhile, look, preventive health is the best. And what more can the government do to prevent the incidence of anal cancer, the incidence of HIV and AIDS, any STI, than investing in that very thing that would stop that from spreading?
Is it really an issue for us in Ghana?
It is, Chairman. It is an issue.
Say, say your own,
Chairman, but not on this scale.
Say, the conference don't be anything.
No, and no. One say,
and I see a dear man yourself.
No. You see, there was that. People have agency. They always have agency. But one say when there are restrictions, and no man crofu a year, you might be up to a certain limit. You keep them in a range because of the restrictions in place. But there are people who choose to become gays and lesbians because say idea is fashionable. And also. And if you say, never is it that big of an issue? Why did the president see it as a big issue? And promise obey who bibi. And is no longer a priority. How is it not a priority? And I am scandalized by the deafening silence of the NDC as a political party. Chairman, the leadership of the NDC must be speaking to this. Otherwise, the conclusion is that it is not only the president, but then the entirety of the NDC. Ajia to say, Chairman, nam pese mi ka wedi.
Men ka de kanititi pa.
Sa ade omujitum. Ade omwadwe mu no enya de ehia om. Ye ka priority and it's not a priority. It means ehia om. So if you have the entirety of the NDC saying say sa asem na eha Ghana 42 no omu de enya asem hia ma omu a it is scandalous because in opposition omu kan ho asem omu ye hu dede. Some of their MPs virtually survived and their political careers were given a boost just because of this particular issue. And then they see enya de ehia omu. And like I was saying, there is a connection between sa asema Kayi any the other issues the president claims are priorities for him. The economy, for example, I've spoken to you about, the cost to our health budget. If we could save Sika Yediko to take care of Sankrofo, Muyas and all that, we could channel it into doing all other things. And I'm doing many other things. But because we are saying, say, any priority, we tend to not focus. I mean, of course, we are not focusing on it anymore. Which means, Sabin Crawford who are engaged in it and they are having all kinds of diseases, would continue to spread it and it will continue to be a cost to the state. And the idea and the moral and religious argument, media, Ghana is a secular state. But either whether we like it or not, even though Ghana is a secular state, but Ghana is one of the few countries in the world that are very religious. We are a secular state, all right, but yemfa nyamisum endiagro. I am yet to be told of any religion that accepts and not tolerates sa adi. And so far, no omoka huasem kanino. They were quoting all kinds of scriptures to support the fact say sadin ese timi ekutia. And ebi musi omone mampenyi na eshibum. Enti nyobe kebia de eye. I feel so disappointed. And when the clergy begin to behave in this manner, Chairman, what are you telling the congregation?
Say,
would ye kaninu na uye dede uye kan wasem, and rightly so. You were preaching about it in your church, you were talking about it in public and all that. And then the Mampenzi is no longer a priority. And all you can say is to pray for him and to say, the winning a shibum into Woody and Chada and Yaboni Biasa, Yaman Mre, Obi also a priority. No man in crowd no be. And Chairman, when we say something is not a priority, what it means is it could take him the entire 4 years on your hushi. Because any priority. He will tell you that there are competing issues and our priorities and we're there at the last cry. And near Mampena catcher and they say we should expect no action from him for the rest of his tenure. That's what it means. Because if the alternative priorities are economy, education, they will continue to be there, which means they will continue to be his priorities until for the rest of his tenure.
And will he be wrong to make them his priorities?
They can catch us. They have always been priorities. They are not new priorities or generating.
But Tibia no place Shimukina.
Oh, Chairman, Missy Abainfumbia crowd, those priorities, they take care of them. But I'm saying that these are rare issues. They are not your regular issues that emerge every now and again. Until when these issues, as important as they are, you deal with them. And when President Akufo-Addo failed to deal with them, they suffered electorally for it. And he exploited failure on the part of the former president to act decisively on it. And now Ghana for Ejina Sutu Abamano. After what baby young is no longer a priority. So in that case, were we wrong in accusing the former president of not considering it a priority? Because what he did no one can say, but his actions spoke to the fact that any priority, mommy. One can say, that's not what he said, and his actions said. But what he did, gave the impression, how different is that from what the president has? If a man paying I can say, I do with the which means being here now by no for the rest of his tenure.
Let me take other comments.
And a hard
Atik Mohammed near in Kano. In the meantime, Phillips Phillips is saying Minchi Atik Mohammed or say it's very nice to hear your voice again. Phillips from Takrade to Atik in Accra, from the Republic of Gambaga. Your panelists, especially Atik and Charles, have shown principle on this matter. Just as many of us believed at the time, God has vindicated the NPP and shown Ghanaians the true nature of the NDC and John Mahama. Dadam Lao Bedouin FM in Bumponogo sends that. Nana Hesio Dre says, this LGBT issue clearly was emotionally used as a catalyst to oust the MPP. Where's the MP who said John Mahama would know no peace? Where's Dafa Makbo and where are the others who are on the neck of Akufo-Addo, then president? Then candidate Mahama in a meeting with the clergy assured them of signing the bill immediately when he assumed power. And then after that he says, the bill died with the 8th Parliament. Finally, at the time all the youth had jobs, no problem with healthcare, Ghanaians were having 3 square meals. So it was right for LGBT to be priority. Suddenly, cry my beloved country Ghana. Nana Hesse or Juring. Chairman General, let us single out the Catholic Bishops' Conference. They've been consistent throughout. Kwame in, where is this? Adjustion. Okay. Health, education, unemployment, economy have been our priorities for many years. It is not now that we have become our priorities. The question is, what has changed that LGBTQ is no longer a priority? Odeshi Ajabing in Hacho. Atik is confirming that youth unemployment can encourage prostitution, which is more prevalent among heterosexuals. Tell Atik, malaria is the biggest killer in Ghana. What is Parliament doing about mosquitoes? Are the churches praying to God to uncreate the mosquitoes? Anti-LGBT law is not going to stop gays.
Does he have an idea how much we spend on anti-malaria programs?
Well, this one says
something about it. You can still walk and chew gum.
You can still walk and chew gum. That's our take to Kwekum. The President of the Republic is wrong to say LGBT is not a priority. His demeanor and posture has changed since Lincoln University denied him the honorary degree. Kwame, he as president should know that every policy, every infrastructure, every financial gain, and every development must pass down to the next generation. Men will not have children when they sleep with men. Women will not give birth when they sleep with their fellow women. How is that difficult to understand? It is time to have a referendum if our leaders are not sure what Ghanaians really want. Lastly, it's time to assign psychologists to our leaders because they definitely need it. Osei Kofi Akwa, National Communications Director, CPEP. And then Let's see if there are any others here. Okay. Chairman General, I am posted for work in Southern Africa. LGBTQ, etc. is all over in the country. But the country has better infrastructure, easy loan facilities for young entrepreneurs, easy mortgages, and they hardly travel out. Ajua Boaje. And then...
was it South Africa, not Southern Africa?
Southern Africa, not South Africa.
Or yeah. Zimbabwe?
Well...
Namibia.
Okay.
Malawi.
Senegal.
I said, tell Atik that maybe the president will wait till 2027 and then he will sign it to make NDC more popular. Owusu sends that one. Chairman General, it's not an issue of priority or not for majority of our citizens. It is the religious bodies and politicians who are making it an issue. For us, it is not. Okay.
Wow, really?
And then
Wow. And then
Thompson says, greetings from Zurich. Did the LGBT bill reach the desk of Nana Akufo-Addo as president? Parliament should finish their work. Please hold Bagbin instead, not John Mahama. Thompson says that one. We don't have to play politics with LGBTQ, but politicians have made it so. We have to let our moral values guide us to do the right thing. It's a priority. Dr. Aaron Edu, UPSA. Chairman General, tell Reverend Charles Owusu to ask his prophet Owusu Bempe's view, because he expressed a view on OKFM this morning regards LGBTQ. Well, we didn't listen, so I don't know yet. Kingsley, I'll find out later. And then let's see. You say my name is Adnan. You're watching us from Germany. Good morning, Adnan. Thank you very much for watching. And then this one, JC Boakon says, President Mahama should kindly come again. LGBT should be a priority now, no long things. JC Boakon, political marketing expert. And then the theory that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely is not just a theory. It's not just a theory. Politicians make it a reality. Muchacho sends that one in. How is it, member also? Any comments?
Chairman, where the Mammy Nakoya is not mentioned when you were tifo.
Yeah, Joe does say.
Chairman, Yamin goes to Israel. I will ninja.
Amen. Also, sir.
With the end of the day, my body, Yamin Yamaba also the Ashram.
Anyway, sir,
now, Chairman Minchami Brampini from my bedroom with Fibiamha. A reverend and honorable Atik, Omoyan Cromfa, Madio Machachi.
Yeah, that's it.
Madio Machmi Obia, me Tadio Ubia, or Titibu Habia, Medinachi, a one and some Kahon in the Oabia.
Great.
The idea Madio Machacha, and Tia Adepa, say a name, my barbetana, the same table, who are meaning penny for me tatiomo, a wetchy, and then minimum maybe and como. And the chairman Adepa, at the Mamma Chairman.
Yes, sir.
If I'm a commazam Pacho, Michel region 4, I want to be free.
Oti?
Catholic Church, just can diocese.
Okay.
I China an Episcopal ordination. Yes, Bishop of
Bishop of
Exactly, Bishop Mantea retired. And yes, Bishop for front, just can diocese China. Chairman, a bear coming here to Safro.
Now, over what dear?
Meko. Chairman, I didn't invite you to Baba.
That's it.
Bishop of Francis from a Catholic Church.
That's it.
Chairman. Me come Samson. Me brampini for a cow masem wo tebu ho. And enema no bebre wo ho, me ne omo e adwen wo ho. E wo ho kwan se omo kansa nsam no. E ho da ho because say ye nyina ye kuto one line na say yanya opinions bi a say be e counter that of aban a na e kire say nya oman na ye den e na ye kekere no. Say among penny-for ekasa, we must have people who hold them accountable and on their toes. Very important. I had a boy, my be a boy, and it's a way you'll be that's only on my crank you because I'm my drink tell me propaganda not www. Your monster on my drink. I've been able to at the sample will be out in the size. There will be a drink a young coon. Chairman,
Master.
This particular topic, obi biara a ɔwɔ ha ɛnyɛ Ghana mpo wiase afa na nyinaa obi anim John Mahama's position on this particular issue obi a sa basis no sa foundation yen lay the chairman
okay
obi anim on several occasions on different platforms chairman even in a campaign run out to the 2024 campaign we share clergy okay even on campaign platforms okay chairman so many times not once but could be correct if I could remember or quote him vividly was one assemblies of God in him or quote church of assemblies na baby a was some nyame ne nyame a was some no enya ade asan nyoma no obetimi di ne ho ayeden aka ho anese enya ade asan nyoma no ono obedi mampani a obeden obesoso it openly social media so capture chairman social media so capture ade a eya ade a wiase afa na nyina obi anya bihwe ena obi nso tie enti se waka na Ghana no oko America for nim John Mahama's position on LGBTQ oko Canada for nim data oko China for nim enya ade hinta oko fa AI and ChatGPT chairman now we type John Mahama's position generally on LGBTQ as anyone nyina babeda ho and the chairman generally sub basis na was here lane say John Mahama's position on LGBTQ is known chairman mesamo another example when we say nan higher send your friend university be in command abasobode card or man's money
Lincoln
one of the reasons stated and released by the embassy say no position on LGBTQ and so kahuntia no man yeden o man na particular abasobode card no and the chairman worldwide obi ani mo man penini gina brese ba na LGBTQ enti chairman enya de foforo a sebe yebeka say o man penini enka ho asem da anase onya ho adeda ba de ba kwa eye me wanwa no ene say sebe not first na LGBTQ asem we abegina hoyi it became a major issue because of some one or two reasons and draw much attention because na nyoma bi koso and sorry in eba keke chairman and yes some one or two actions in ebi no say no if we don't start speaking against this or working against this as a yes so too much and a difference say won so say a difference say won so and a difference say won find your won find your priority you don't even give it attention at all. But a difference was also
yeah
man pedi dada na nado dango akufado mechiano papa anopai onya kwenya see this particular thing open nailing once and for all and can then chairman and can then me bra take no money level no better hankasa same way it will never be a topic of discussion. Not only that, and can then president now what to say will not have an option than to implement that. That is what we must know.
But Akufo-Addo
and American chairman me baho and unko Akufo-Addo nya public platform just like what your Mahama had an interview. Ye bisa na say LGBTQ assembly we krom no fa na saying. The PN and no say it is bound to happen. And then nanchen was a protest bebre koswa e yade a aman bebre na ntimi nya de ntimi mpo depending on what on protest ebe koso chairman nyame nkwa na dio COVID-19 na e charge for e wo krum ha chairman nya COVID-19 na e charge for ankasa community kura under the leadership of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo anka omo ye conference ncherente mpa Ghana
but Akufo-Addo ni hobi mo
asem na America me baso. So I'm trying to tell you the reason why much attention was given to it. Because not the government then, positions, especially on Penino, then straightforward. And yes, straightforward. It is bound to happen. Chairman, it is bound to happen. And your priority. Compare these two statements and see something. But was man attention because
but no
it is bound to happen.
Baku say it is bound to happen.
Exactly.
Amaso. Baku say me ba me sign. Or by we no. Or say enya semi here.
Exactly.
Inti say no your case is bound to happen no. Oni hobio.
Exactly.
Your case me ba me sign no. Ono aba. No say who here bio.
Chairman,
as I didn't know you no.
Chairman, asama mechanic say uti.
Yes.
Say me say and you be and I'm attention about so in the previous government because LGBTQ say mo we say me bra take no money revenue be dia dance a e wo ho kran say ya we bi mu enye nen chairman
e Bible mukra
e bi kra ko bi kra ya ma mo sei Sodom and Gomorrah e wo Bible mu inte LGBTQ de enye nen na heden enye nen na aba e wo ho da but the mechanics I didn't tell about center for conversation because of na man penin seminar na walk those times no till say na do dan kwa kufa do kan say it is born to happen and konfo no so anya rehemu bi o ma sati piewa kroma 2021 kra omu be advocacy center e okroma it na yet said the wo bobola wa ma striker troopers and konfo no wo ho omo nka omo ho na wa che down ball no man troopers chairman general and yet they strike or be say and this what me man troopers say ya almost so make come it na mprofona start take come and brother na Sam George no push this particular advocacy Parliament na there Sam George made a statement some time ago say there was this particular celebrity lady who was moving around in our kindergarten schools na there wo krom ha sabe all tenetene nkwala was even sad way and it was very bad I didn't know no yes sir because now sema every aban ho ba no na ase omanya tumi kakra bi a ejino machi say no ase omabanya level grounds bi a ometumi ani omope chama e the attention ba den so bebre chama the attention ba so too much because adi e bo ho na jingdogodo what did that
Harry,
but to bring attention to it it happened in the previous government
ne krakra ne say
chairman say my member
because why
exactly I just give you reasons why there was too much attention to it at that time.
Matthias, yeah.
And people say, so we capitalize on it and we use it for political gains. Mpacho, chairman. Nana do akwa kasi it is born to happen. Ade na Ghana for muntiana.
Sentino mkofi.
Enya ade a be kasi e bia ye agina so no. Meti message bi kura chairman Kayi obi kura ka the same thing. Ade na Ghana for ade muntiana. Ana Ghana for munima kankan na omote bro for munti. Chairman, everybody is privy to this issue. And it's so bit ye. Nana do dan kwa kufa do asem no. Na wo gina so de koto aba. Chairman NDC ye ne ai. E je one waka wasem ana wonu akwayi uka. Na Ghana for no bi say de woka no emwa. E no mato abatean. Enti ano no to say NDC. Ye ne ye de aye politics na se be yanya ho faso no. Ene de masa it doesn't enya de a many homo adwen chairman. Chairman, after the priority, Nana don't go for after more primaries or Kabibio. Was a president now or Bebanachino? I know beyond my trauma, the economy's hand brand was a general sound, ya do beside me on trade. Nembum neo Bebanachino about solve the economic hardship, the economic issues of this country. Okay. And here by a chairman. Those are some Jadabi, I've laid the foundation already that generally we know John Mahama's position on this particular LGBTQ. And his position is the government's position already. Because on a send your friend government in penny on a T. And it's an opposition and I say government in I the LGBTQ are young so. But chairman, as we speak, ya buy ya wouldn't the way na Ghana economy now say the attitude pansan. Ya nim the way na rating agencies rating economy no as bola economy na da bola so ofa twitwi kwanye yi na nyoma tete pansa wo krom ha amanfo di loan omuntimi ntua because na interest rate head and na namsoro na dollar people were not able to do businesses. Chairman amanfo ejuma egu kama group of companies who can say papa no okojina komase o kan ese de ben tambe no lanchi book no na tie program no wo si book no kwa 1000 Ghana wanya nto because taxes are meaning no company ama no company yagu. So there were issues on the table we needed to solve for human to live. Chairman, it is a president that can say, and then your priority no person be attention. Chairman, many on your doing. Many on your doing 100%. Because there are serious issues facing this country. Because one man attention, it doesn't even come to the public discourse. For some community, no benya ho kwan. Amomanya to me bi asa ye ka omo asa won say o ka obi asamo wo ho a wo ka ne de bia na asa no onya gina brebi
Intimemian Kasamo.
Chairman, can so what you say.
Intimemian
So when we don't even say, because generally, morally, we know see those things are not right. But question is, Chairman, I got down on penny tables on 1 year, the one finance and here. I got down on penny tables, and down on penny tables who was a 1 year to the cockot, and in 1 year, the one finance and here.
And Patriot President Mahama.
A constitutional process was inducted in this town.
President Mahama may say, I'm going to do an echo table.
But what was it?
President Mahama, may who say, I'm going to do an echo table.
Emre Ben.
A man, Nana Kufado, man penny. Because a court.
Chairman, court by a down the table. Chairman, referee, Ilevia, some.
Yeah, can't LGBT.
And American, I'm my example. Ilevia is one court about a government finance here.
Ilevia,
Eh?
Chairman,
Ilevia court. Minority, the choir. How do I do so no time?
No, my judgment on.
Apparently, my can the choir, and the my judgment almost about 2 abandoned. Almost 2 abandoned, and how do I know the choir?
And
I'm what in such as I call so a
No, into judgment, Amber.
how do I know? Abansa on my heading. Judgment abansa on my Senate and so my implementing policy.
Like, did they get a judgment on, sir? You know,
I don't know your judgment. Minority and your judgment.
maybe, sir.
Are you asking me or you are
No,
telling
I'm
me?
asking.
Are you asking me or you are telling me?
I'm asking you, did they get a judgment? If they did, then it would bar the president from signing. And
if they get a judgment, because question will be some here.
okay, what the try? Sorry,
So, Chairman, the American say, I've just cited an example. And then what I mean is, say, I didn't cut that your mama tables were automatically tends to be a priority at that time. And cut that revenue team for the time always thinking, and can also bet media put private member. But then I change. Your mama cracker is a private member bill, no cry. Your best government sponsored one.
it's in parliament already as a
free. A bank is able to and a banner head, no more demons head, or more demons as here. Honorable Pacho, Obama Casa, Honorable the way.
Because it's in parliament as we speak.
No problem. No problem. And then I make us say, down the table, so Chairman automatically becomes a priority at that moment. But as at now, as we speak, now you're Baba Mudabe, Chairman. Abani Ghanaians gave us 4 years mandate. True or false?
Very true.
That is it. Ghanaians gave us a 4 years mandate. We have a long time to go. And yet they are. Sabi Chairman. Yet you say I didn't hear complaining then because President Kayi say and can and your priorities is here. And you need to do combo. What can say between anyone one sign?
They be on cancer.
On cancer. On cancer. Inti say a president name and now you're pushing a quadaho. Now say one fan and shan here. Chairman, then we can now come back to this table and have this conversation.
Okay.
But as we speak, Bibi Sansi. She see and I can Obia opinion.
Let me move on.
Issue.
It's well known.
It's accepted. Obia will not drink. Obia bet me at not drink. But Chairman, me so my drink head and much of us.
Mijitum. Main comment in Francis from Dunkona says, what is written. No human can stop homosexuality. It's written in the pages of scriptures before the Messiah comes again. The world conditions will be like the days of Noah and Sodom and Gomorrah. Are we seeing these signs? Politicians and politics should let sleeping dogs lie. And so we move on. Okay. I'm in Hamburg, in Germany. I don't understand what the NDC communicator is going on with the LGBTQ. Alex to 4. And then let's move on. Sly.
KSK.
You watch it.
Na machia strong kono machia etifo.
Yeah, Joso.
Harrison. Ofi Jasikai.
Yeah, man.
Nyame adom.
Me fi dambai.
Ofi dambai.
Exactly.
Nyame adom. Oko Jasikai near the Catholic Bishop Fofro. Agwakusi so. Oduwa memma no nkra kakra pe no fama Catholic Bishop Fofro na edinisi so no. Say His Excellency President Mahama so chiano. Nemo LGBT asem no enye ne priority. Na onye mwai no fam rank right. Ti. We are honest in why new bishop no di be man no on famre ye won kraya mamenchia minia samia wuku emma no
ene na woda
na minia audition so etb michia no anopechia MPP for nyina na me peso asofo asa Kwame
yeah
you see politicians ya nye careful ebedu baby amanyo sem no ye ma kra besre yen e wa amanyo sem a ye no ho na me de since omampani kan sem adwuma odi ato ho so adwuma dimpa o
why
me Harrison
Hare.
About communication.
So why you be there to be? Said I deputy information minister.
Information minister. What's that Kwame? The whole na me catch me is on to the book. You see, Master Kwame.
Yes, sir.
Yeti hoi. Ufi say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Sabi, on your biya keke wo mai mo. Why ye assemblyman pen e wo Ghana ha? Why ye member of parliament? Why ye deputy minister? Why ye cabinet minister? Why be ye vice president? Why ye president?
Yeah.
Answer na all can asem na all can. Look. Yera, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the liberties of persons LGBT. Okay, Andrew Solomon.
Yeah, make a character.
And in here, President Mahama, he can say, I saw for Gini Diwokruma. I said it on many platforms. He'll backtrack.
Are
Andrew Solomon, okay, Andrew Solomon. The book now of forward Andrew Solomon, a #1 advocate for gay rights in the world. And Adam for power. President Mahama Adam for. So now, a brand of President Mahama, Okika's assembly, I saw for the one in sa a guniso, a bomb pie man who kruma. Now, meaning say a scam. It's nothing but a scam to win the elections. And indeed, he benefited heavily. Yet, hey, what's that Kwame?
yes, sir.
Nimia Sofo, Charles Owusu can send you her. Or say, in summer, President Mahama, candidate then, a Kayi, a Kanakuma, Manitu Abamano. The following Oracha so Owusu wo e Ghana ha. Enya following kitwa. Ni so take position na. Majority say nipa di nechi nyina. Majority of them would have taken the similar position with him. Asofo akese. What's up me? Me constituency. Sunday ukwa sorry. Say only asofo only sorry makokasa. One of the topical issues are about Osophobia breach here. They want to know your stand about the LGBT thing. NDC winning the last elections, Metumia can say LGBT contributed more than 40% of their success in the last elections. You can say
it didn't play a part.
It didn't play a part.
It played about 40%.
Mami Mr. said, what did he say? Ora Mahama in the run up to 2024 elections. Onyanku Kudroko can say LGBT wasn't a priority and compared to him in elections. No way. Oh my God, but me, I knew say it was a scam. It's nothing but a scam. Because of being a downfall, or trouble book, or money, ye comment in womb, Andrew Solomon, the biggest and the #1 gay right advocate in the world. Although we are gay, na downfall no. And you visit ne oba, obetu anya kukudro, edis amranaba. The danger here, you can parliament and a private member bill. We must start to raise questions. The questions of the cost on the state. And no na influence you almost say and yema abanya nankasa famra no one can cost because in the mrano private member bill cannot the government cannot incur a cost. And then the speaker of parliament then say there's nothing like that. Abambagin. And then his silence on this matter. But let me tell you, when President Mahama says any priority, you know what that means? The leader of government business is in parliament, is in cabinet.
Mahama
Yariga. The leaders of the NDC in parliament, they are all cabinet ministers today. And the president has given an indication. So the committees that are to work on this matter, President now say any priority. One him say in this parliament season, one single meeting on that bill now, or Arifama committee. Not a single meeting.
Well, sure.
I'm telling you. I am telling you. They haven't had a single meeting. You can check. Because President and my indications are your priority. And the members of Parliament, I am Ghana. Majority of your cabinet ministers must come from Parliament. And then some people are advocating for your friend is a reshuffle. And you be on here, you know, person beshim. Obi awanya bi so may not want to offend the president. And the Yakoya not say by. But you see, if you want to test the popularity of the president comment, check the comment from the clergy, the Christian community. You can do the semantics and the politics with the Amuyeno. But I can tell you, that don't make our baby. The President Mahama fee say he's more concerned about the ordinary Ghanaian, about the bread and butter issues. Call resign in the elections and the NDC for. Mon resign, President Mahama should resign. The elections and now, okay, the priorities of this government. Check my budget, my second budget. The worst form of a government in terms of expenditure. The big push. The worst form. Chrono, chrono. And the plight of the ordinary people. When you promise the young people of this country, and you answer 1 job, 3 people, and then you are prescribing saying, go here Indomie. 1 job, 3 people. Sasu and B for Adenta. It is all over.
Are you sure so?
Of course, okay. I see young people now, mo share them person mo nye ejuma no. Ejuma bi ani ho, obi anko ya Indomie. I'll give you the tape na mo. That's how bad it is. And I can't tell you 133. President Mahama na num tom. Na me feel say one of the idea dienya youth unemployment. Okay, is automatic employment by teachers and nurses. 1 job, 3 people. Bill now mudi call Parliament no. President Mahama, or say time no. A year later, or share clergymen, no, no. Bill now could do President Akufo-Addo, but onu dear, it drew near. Or 2 kwankwa broche baya or say any priority. Master, I know what I'm talking about. President Mahama will not allow this bill to pass.
May I say
he will not allow the bill to pass. Into Master Kwame.
Okay.
Mestre say, yema politics no, ye ni hu ni kakra. Na de emo rem wo asem yi kra ne say, asofo a woni di won sa a good advocate so wo krom ha and now one sister on position. E bi mu asisa on position.
Tesamani.
Master Kwame.
Bra.
Ya na asofo de. Anobena me ni anu mo kasa.
Oh mananga.
Lawrence Tete.
Oh, minipa.
Yes. Me namesake. I know you about public. Give it to me, aka. Mesre no bebre. Mesre no. Me ni opinion. Mesre no bebre. Baby, all pastor corner. A whole true. Because the indication is that, and the Yamao committee, Kesiepa, one of government land sales. So committee no come. I know na informing the position there. President Mahama, please. Now if we say Reverend Tete, Lawrence Tete, say President Mahama, and as a president and a candidate Baumia, Eka 2024, say LGBT and your priority, and can on Rostino. The hypocrisy must stop in this country, and we must speak truth to power. And now I appointee under this government. And you to me catch say President Mahama and for on phone number. And we shouldn't politicize LGBT issues when he was on the platform against the MPP. What's that, Kwame?
Reverend Tete,
me see, my would mama assignment. Who called just
Reverend Tete, our politicizer.
Ah, na dear no ye. Then and now, me see.
Then and now, all your politics with this thing.
Me see. Who called just Kaya? A weekend, yeah. Kona ko catch a new Archbishop na mudi ni siso no. Say ni mu position as NDC and then na come back again. But you see, me, Master Kwame, on this platform, I'm telling you, sir, President Mahama, his cabinet and his parliament are a absolute majority. They will not allow it.
Because
we see any priority. They want.
Well, Harrison CMI 4 years into Nyawiche before the end of the 4th year.
4 years.
About priority. How about that?
Master, you see, this issue, Obiti said, Miami Nyakitwa, Sam George. See my President Mahama up to March. So on Sanya, you will never know peace from him. This is one of the key advocates of this bill. But he's an elder of the Perez Chapel.
Yeah.
He's an elder of the Perez Chapel. Oh, I mean, he's my cousin. I followed all the things they did with LGBT. And he's been silent on this matter. who is a president Akufo-Addo and a candidate Baumia and they can't say LGBT bill and your priority.
I cannot correct. Now, Chairman, you know me you come no cano. Look, o mine is true. Yes, Chairman, you cool. Me, I'm not saying this for any political party, but for Ghana because Ghana first. O mine and you pay women in MPP and this in I won. As my year came. Sincerely, you bet my country a pass LGBTQ, and who here or my who here say Rebecca Master, and who here say Ebemrao, and I mean, just sometimes I don't know what's here. And that's why the last time, I may come be na me so penny as some well so for our me money or frame catch him say, what's me the woman said, Chama, you do baby, and not yan my idea who am I Yami Juma, Yami Juma. Na yes I am on your seminar. Now I very difficult. And now come master man will be changed so I didn't know or can the worker. But if me can we same thing in 2024. And that's why I'm just asking the question, say, if it had been Akufo-Addo, the President Akufo-Addo, former president, or former vice president Baumia, and I can't say the same way in 2024, or even in 2023, or even in 2022, any of the appointees in the case assembly in 2022 or 2020 can send a million men DC for on action, on reaction.
You see, the government spokesperson, Felix Ofosu Kwachi, to the extent.
You mean Kwachi Ofosu? Edina can say Kwachi Ofosu.
Kwachi Ofosu.
But someone depending on Ofosu Kwachi Ofosu. Felix Kwachi Ofosu. Anyway, Nina Nipakrona.
To say, yeah, pedestrian politics.
Or say pedestrian politics.
You see, you see, when the president speaks, now it is better to shut up.
Wouldn't it be nice if you say it's better to keep quiet?
Well,
shut up can be offensive, you know.
Well,
without
apology.
So why would
apology?
But I know from Bejo.
Without apology.
Apology accepted 100%.
Apology accepted.
Thank you. He's my friend. And you see, I can also Okana no too. But I'm happy. Say the clergy has given him a befitting response. Say don't play with our intelligence. And many more mobile radio so yeah. Take a position ebema akoma atoyem. But to rationalize it and try some way explain it, you infuriate the emotions of the Ghanaian. You see, yes, one mayor conference be Okruma.
San Matimini who evidence by Mate.
South African boys be bar Independence Square, the Black Star Square.
Yeah.
Black Star Square. Omu ba twitwa be fifi omano e Okruma. Omu ko no release video no. Not official statement from government, and even to seek to look for those people. So coming events, no, a cast its shadow. And the Abu Baba, me my clutch, what is President Mahama now down for pie again. On any book of Africa, on to me, yes, I do. And the Omu no Kokwanas on himself for 4 years. Or Yano Kukwanas say, yeah, no, I'm telling you, mark it on the wall.
But time was 20, Masa
Kwame, 2 years. And they room you. Bill. Now say, oh no, absolute majority in parliament. Now we gold reserves are Edijaya. Most no minority pansam. Gold reserves are Edijaya. What owning in our Bank of Ghana. And members of the minority at the motion called parliament say you're investigating. Abangabi, he shut it down.
Speaker say
I shut it down.
Good investigation in it.
Please, he shut it down. The circumstances. I officer Ghana for
good that investigation.
Wow, you see?
Yeah, say $214 million be account for.
Yeah, account.
And into your bill no coin.
Meanwhile, when we were in government, Ken Ofuriatta, they drag him for investigations. And almost Kenra. The man that has not even been charged officially. Obia ya convictino. Said in Antemaklu. Ya convictino. Convoy ya convictino. When they were Johnny. Said in Antemaklu. Convoy ya chino. Ya convictino. Kenoforiata. Nobody has officially charged him. Mosi yanko fa nembra. Na mo yire ni mo ma mo abro ti ma ko fa o ma ba.
Oh, no mo mbele.
Na
Obi yiri
charge when other chicken for that.
Obi ni ni ba obuche dia say no fire ho into there.
Obi yen charge no. Won charge no. Masa Kwame. Yen charge no.
Finance minister Okroma.
Me say yen charge the fact that to be a finance minister. Won charge no. Nti dia na wo twi no so omra.
I don't know who done it.
Ojani said okay. Only right to travel anymore in this country.
Back to my LGBT and back to my any other matters. I'm sorry, sir.
Say, the econo, Ghana for, Asofo, and Kramofo, Obia, or what GDA, our Mahama must say. Adia will bet to me, aya, Mimia, me catch your mose, and Kusiaga. Ekwanas in tricky system, and Omudi.
We live to see. I am happy Atik Mohammed says it is in Parliament. Our efforts to have made it government-sponsored was stopped by Right Honourable Bagbin. The Legal and Constitutional Committee and the Human Rights Committee are currently sitting on it.
Right.
So what has come up again? Let them finish and send it to the president, and we'll see the difference between Mahama and Akufo-Addo.
That's all.
The consideration will take 2 years.
And this is Godwin Ako Gan.
Let me give you this information. Let me give you this information.
Yes, sir.
Adia bia important to Parliament. I refer committee. The order paper in Parliament continuously it appears on the order paper. As we speak, it doesn't appear again. And the implication intricate system na money. Ask your members of Parliament why have they taken it off the order paper in Parliament. And the omoki kanidie ona mutia ya ye wo buni je yenu za de we wo mu dada ye enkosia ga.
We'll see. Peace 104.3, 25 minutes to 11 o'clock. And your best, so with any other business. Now, any other business, yeah, we say fewer price cuts, waha, Middle East crisis, and matters, right? And a BBA wide Charles, me know, and
Nema mi nu tell.
Me too.
Dedi kan yada abayase. So, emergency cabinet meeting a course. Na abayase afedie taxes a ɛwɔ fan wo so no yɛhwɛ ne free so sɛbɛ ya manfo ɛkɔn bɛhin han ade papa asɛm papa yɛda abayase in fact oniema yɛ miɛnsa na sɛ yi mu ba kokra yi bum ne half free na yɛde half beto so a ɔma kɔn mu den ɛhin han wo nti but as you speak no ensure that say no rather than meeting the course you bomb by say fear na ekɔ nyina no you be who pumps no ahodo ɛwɔ your various filling stations ahodo chama de toso mienu me ne yenuanom a ɛwɔ transport union ahodo no bia ɛkasatia ban on vox you know enya adwen
ade
ebi that the ntia me no mo nya adwen so anamontu papa National Road Safety Authority for a tour me bomb abaso papa yenua lawyer maneba ene edano lawyer me chia no pay my idea papa chairman
Charles
akon kete ni nickname no
box you know
ya fa akoko
I got now for mo pa se be bia yedo
no gatro ebe kum sesia Tese obeku oh fa omo no okuku omo ye just bibi come on check it since that vox diba kroma say last year bc this year accident I see no emu be 80% e vox at also any pe wo mi na ewu because originally the car na ye right steer if in Japan and a bar no mako change ko left steer na speed no mo ko no I say o mato e kwan na san to wuo asaka ho
so I vox the same way.
Yeah.
When the first question, beside Ghana say when right here right hand drive.
Yes.
Yomra. Inti. You started from baby a free. How is it that so many right hand drive cars about Ghana have go through port?
Yeah.
I'm a master. How did the cars enter? There.
The Vox ye wokroma 90%. Omo kwa mfi Japan no. Omo shipi fi Dubai.
Omo
kwa fi Dubai from Japan. Omo ya be good Dubai. Omo aye conversion no.
You are right.
Inti a rapport no left hand.
You are right.
Oh, that is what it is.
You are right.
It comes in as left hand.
Yes. Sanity. Sanity. And you only beba no. Na chairman say even po say.
Ono aka asem no.
Cars be ho a omo changing no from right.
In fact, a back porter na left hand na this is what happens. You ma two steer no. Want to me for sequence. Two steering no. Na two steering new year. A see a bounty. No acquire conversion. Now they are called DVLA. No more tested. No one who say a year. No more letter. Now they are called port accord you paper accord register.
But how is it possible? Say Ubia and Nadia. Why any say?
Yeah.
What's the word here? Why any say? Open left accord left prepare.
I mean, you know, Chairman.
Because okay, at least watch it, mama. But second issue, I can't in the kunipa na nase nipa na driving the kunipa.
Drivers now.
Because to send you see a tio kunipa, tion kunipa. Nipa ne kunipa.
Some drivers now.
Say tio da wa enku obi aye. O tam to an beto.
Technically, mama cheche muka. Technically, your right hand drive baby instead VIT. Nobody complain about VIT. You know why? VIT and call long journey. Mostly a Uber near the
Okay.
You see, car be SC highway stability.
Yeah.
This car is not meant for that long journey. Obi to me for Vox. No wa loadu nipa okosunyane. Okochechiman.
Oh yeah.
Okumase.
How different?
Okotemale.
Accra.
Oh David.
You see, enona eye or how no. So
me can say that ke course ko for there.
Oh, David.
Masa Kwame, enona eye problem no.
Really?
So stability no ena eye problem. Stability no a problem. And yet car no and as a convention no be a one year. Because when they call for technical specification, conventional car chose but yen you no mu use no. E be sre wo mo. The distance of the corner and the speed. Car needs stability. Car needs stability. Articulate a crowd, chemu won cheya. What me say car? Even V8.
E bi pa me ho keep close class. Vozilo.
Don't go there.
When you say
don't go there.
So Uko Cape Coaster after Palm Junction. There's a place on your left called Eat and Ride.
Yes.
So anytime because we are
MP Joe Hackman.
Joe Hackman ho. Me tell stop wo hopa.
Good place.
After a Palm Junction, my boy traffic how. Some may call left. But typically, we say Obeshawechi. Now me share me driving mirror, me side view. Can be a JB a day bad. Inti my boy traffic the bami jina. So for a Palm me hono. What?
Yeah, regulations they say. That long journey.
And
I said jet fighter.
Yes. Many safety for a yard. Come on. GPRT for. And any other transport union for. Look, I'm penning for Monty office or Monfo Carnaby. Monty office, Monfo Carnaby. And I did echo see me who actually be a moment take as I mean transport union. Say yeah, who's a cars and a cool nipa and Tinabia, sir, mini honorable cane. Yeah, my cars and call long journey.
Yeah,
but over here, no, my jama cars and a low do call long journey. And a cool nipa. A cool nipa na a buying through a guns and agency, said Debbie. Rosette, young Shama, a guns and nipa, most of my pay. And the Yamani Panuana, younger than you, a buying Yamani Pan and Kosua and Guana.
Because say in
Chairman, me no we agree. Maybe Mr. Tikan say we no since last year. Because Chairman, you were Maya. Last year, nipa over 2,500 through accident. Over 2,500. Ade. Said the benti. And me two kwanya. Except in because me drew me krum. Abraham in committee against a crime beer. Now be the me koko bokem, the me kosha kasi kumi. For what reason? Now, man, for look, and for we breadwinners on fee. I'm a wager and ma. And my men wager a wager and ma. Papa no wager a wager and ma. A lot of them because of accident. And he many against a road safety for your drink.
Okay.
Any other transport union for no, it will be big. They should go and sit down with them. If we are ready, say, on behalf and conform, you know, more cancer, castle. And Chama say now who now or sounds are no yin at a car.
Yeah, man.
That's all. Just when you're not about that car.
Share
on fire.
Voxino.
I'm telling you.
But Obia confirm your mammy, or say,
I load that car credit.
There been back about quite you. Committee na chance say, Emma, you're the band no buy.
Yeah.
Also, Voxy call Nigeria.
Wow.
Also,
Nigeria.
Yeah. anya say me bo mi team na.
That chairman.
Opanyi back what? I say as OT.
Oh yes.
I say Nigeria.
Yes, if we consumption is good.
Committee that national. In fact, me who am going to come to kusia kura come on Monday. Because sabi you been in team boxing. Now so a wona
conventional.
Yeah. Yes.
Convention.
Chama ebinim so kan enim ye papa sa. Enje no so kwa o the speed and steer na tu aka nsem.
Ha.
Oh yeah. And you know, say o man take this decision. Committee na tina so ye bo ma so. Ye ma kwan mo bia mfa hu bia okuro mu me say na ye prima mo bane na hwan de yi. Ba no, be say GPR 24 any other transport union for no. E die mpa no mo ye okuro mu. Asema na mo kan. Meeting ben and a course of free union drive with these cars. And I'm praying that moving forward in Abang Adaroma, Mahama. Town is a various countries alcohol testing other drugs a month for fun. You tested drivers who driving licenses. Omo so a random check. If you are now be Kumasi Council. That will be a do as a Jones Obra.
Obi said who ya and rad.
Jones Obra.
Obi said it and
rad.
So the 30 days ago, Crown which made them. Now young fan come because the union do how to drive any big sound. Now here the Nipa out. I quite that's be on night.
Baby womb.
On so when you're not so baby womb. 2 days ago, me do Kawukudi. So once I Kawukudi do what? Open so back Achemota, Obefa left.
Depending on baby, free back.
No, me free, Kanda never.
Okay, into Befa left.
Befa left.
Yeah.
And I also saw Kojo Befa street. Now young boys.
That be Joel still a bit for left.
What's for left? But young boys be no.
Oko straight, Oko Roman Region Airport.
Oko Roman Region. Oko near Roman Region. We are so free. A hono. I'm on say. Traffic lights, you know, am I a pavement kakra?
Yeah.
Every traffic lights in the back kakra. I check one me, say by a over to my far left now, the echo range is right in Akko Street.
Yeah. Bless him.
Yes, everyone minim some we under influence of drugs. And to Mr. Abine, say moving forward, you know, yeah, quay no. Abine, sir. Drug test now you testing all these drugs I hold more
intense more random
from drivers now so for G license so what driving license so somehow we will have a task force me can't you know a road safety commission for find come on say you be share na you betima amma sanity aba ya kwan ahodo so na chairman if we have 2,500 people dying in 1 year. Number 2, I didn't walk raba nipa senewu.
No, just everyone. Answer me. I've come to the party late. I say, ho, Nigeria, Kwame, go to Elubo. They go to Ivory Coast now from Accra. Yes, nipa 8 in the trim.
8.
No, actually, I say another name is 8. Is 8 condemned.
So Ojina Hona that Obiako station open Tamako. Ojina Hona nipa 8 there. It's easy. It's easy.
We should have a conversation on this ASAP. Kwame, you be there. A friend of mine took Voxy to Paga. Master, after me who Nigeria anyway, I cannot doubt you anymore. In all sincerity. Kwame, changing the steering wheel from left to right is not the problem. If it is done properly, the problem is overspeeding. Toyota Vitz is also the same. You're not sly. I mentioned here. Kwejo Ahodo says changing the steering from left to right is not an issue. Cars are manufactured with that option. Kwame, the problem, however, is the attitude of drivers and our behavior on our roads. Kwejo Ahodo sends that one. Hey, just once you know, say minimum as a propel. Okay, Madam Asi, maybe we should have a conversation on this one day because. If they can ban Voxy, they should ban Okada and Pragia. I don't see another matter for another day. Okay. Obviously, I support the testing for drugs. Narcotics Control Commission can help. They are currently assisting the security services recruitment process and testing for drugs for the first time. Wow. the results will be very interesting. I hear. Wow. Wow.
Some they are making.
Wow.
Yeah, test will be. In fact, when you say
because security services recruitment no more, you know.
Yeah.
Me sure say be obeka.
Yes. Someone said Nigeria tertiary education, tertiary institutions in and test will be.
Oh yeah.
One of the requirements. Or bar if a test you. Yeah, who say cocaine. And what do you call
opioids.
it? Opiates. And you can say any other EBR or if it's substance be and the be new mojem. And they've been to Pakistan, testing workers in a bang a Juma in EBR tested, we'll go through. Oh, my office now, but be my office, Juma now, I'll be did them because some of them know high crime or take office or that. And all these things,
I'm getting some interesting pictures on this Voxy. I see. Wow. Many about to say I'll be interested as a panelist when you schedule a discussion on this Voxy and road safety. Oh, I'm an occupational safety specialist. I think we should do a conversation. In the next 2 weeks, maybe we'll find very interesting morning. We'll just discuss road safety. I think any other business. Metama so into where they're born to Debbie Ofota on our sorry because they my first mark but now sorry and our Charles they here Voxy and our slide boy and can to remember
through the harbor.
Through the harbor.
Mate,
quick one.
Say we dey minyanka next week.
So be
next week. Meba nyame adoma.
Then I person discussing.
Chairman, when him say the mainstay of this country's economy, the minerals.
Really, the major one is gold.
Enkanka gold.
Yeah.
And we should be very interested in Nyoma Ekosu in your mining subsector. Look, Nansenya Yinayinim said there is this transfer. I call it a hostile, transfer of ownership of the Daman mine to a private entity. And we share the processes, the reasoning behind such transfer now. Chairman, the entire process is untidy. Now, say, in every public investment, in every public decision, you take as or mine, what should guide us is value for money.
Okay.
Chairman, and found which entity is going to do the job. The guiding principle should be value for money.
Okay.
But people want to blackmail the rest of us with sentiments about Ghanaian ownership and so on and so forth.
I think when you're academic, but where they're trying to do, right? Because we know we are now on per summary. But
you need to build a foundation. But
as I said, so I'll show up next week. I promise I'll bring it up. Because as for the Damang is a running issue.
Oh yes. Yes, see, there are people who are high on this BS of we are promoting local content. I think it's just a pretext to promote elite capture, and I'll explain why. Obia Nejua for Krano. Omudidika Senate contributions in Tia. How do you expect that such an entity would improve the welfare of workers? And for which reason I buying yamfa sa enu more because of the welfare of Ghanaians and the welfare of workers and or Ghana and so on. Ghana near Ghana for dear. Yet the adimana, what is the guarantee say workers would be better off? And I say be saying transfer to a Ghanaian entity, and it even involves bid rigging because we decided to change the rules of transfer. You see, only Ghanaian entities but we even offended the regulations. We share LI 2716 and very clear how the tender should be done. HSA 7 days after the expiration, well, not expiration, after a mine becomes vacant, and there are conditions under which a mine becomes vacant. Either Nipanu surrenders, Ana Aban refuses to renew the license, and so on. Once it becomes vacant, within 7 days, there should be a prospective applicant, SOD, an application, Ecodyne Minerals Commission.
And 2 feet away now didn't happen.
Chairman, it did not because Maripoma Mining Services Limited, Abekau, Gold Heath, News Annual Money in Abekau, to become tenderers. Meanwhile, from the beginning, we've been told that it was just one entity that had interest in this process. Until that process no crown with the tender process, because you only have a tender process when upon the surrender and the expiration and the refusal of the minister to renew or license, maybe for whatever reason, somebody should have had an application pending. If there are multiple applicants, that is when the tender process is used. Until since 2006, after this law was passed, we've never had any tender. Esan said, this is the first time an entity has been refused renewal of their lease until the mine became vacant. And we would have expected that within 7 days there should have been applications.
And nothing like that happened?
Exactly, because the other ones, Minister Neka, what was it? Chairman Ashasi and Yaka say, you demand one entity. And I did it bahu, and I mean, any sanity, me BM. It is not like any other tendering. That's not how it works. You should have had your application at the priority register. Registry.
And it didn't come that way.
Watch us here. And secondly, I say, who say, yes, where the Bebu Ghana need Zanuman. The question I'm asking is, we're not going to increase Ghana's carried interest in that particular mine. It's still going to be 10%.
Okay.
Royalty, no, it's not going to go any higher. It's still going to remain at 5%, even though the law allows the minister through regulations to increase it by a year until it's still 5%. There's not going to be any addition. Watch us here. And the other issue is that the entity I this has no is legal personality. Obia, you can say a mining company. Mining support services are different from mining company.
Well,
watch us here.
We'll do that conversation again, I think.
Oh, Chairman. Anyway,
tell me, catch you into because we are going to go into other areas. So see where do the mining support services is not a mining company. Just say
exactly, and even the way you far so regulators and some baby and even provident fund contributions. Chairman,
we'll come to that.
So, Mati.
Quick one. It is true when the Voxy passes by you, the car shakes. Can we prosecute drivers who kill passengers? Maybe to help drivers slow down. Chairman General, I boarded a Voxy from Kumasi to Sunyang on 13th March. That's sometime last month. The problem with that car is that because of the change of the steering, it makes the front shake. Gigim, watch your heart. Gigim. Obviously, you be there. Voxy Accra to Paga is 16 hours. Voxy does it in 13. Ujankwa. Sly. Any other?
Yes,
yes.
But another thing we yes are a Jumano. A person with the background. Uben Ghana Police Service. Now I data and statistics on Okada accident across the country.
And then you.
We show.
Superintendent, I being edited to any.
Mr. Kwame, we the Mr. Papa. We have Voxy, but no come. Okada. Yenji data no. Na yema Ghana fu.
Senior officers.
But sir, I bet we can some maybe. Almost there will be training. And the training will use the accent.
What the data no from Ghana Police Service.
Yeah.
The ones unreported.
Major.
Ya reported. Conversation. But I know Masa Kwame.
Yes, sir.
My main call Temahabo.
I know.
I know. Masa Kwame.
Got clear Voxy or heart.
Masa Kwame.
I know we need to have that.
Yes.
If he ho bano. At the braka. I wish we have enough time.
I really
to deal with this matter.
It is actually a running conversation also because only so everybody court.
Yes, I will support them any day.
Are they?
Masa Kwame, share trade. Ghana nye island. We are part of a global community.
Yeah.
And in trade terms, now and company ya be almost say with no cost to Abai, but revenue on generating Abai be ma percentage. As how much percentage we don't know. Masa Kwame, for the last 3 years, average of 31 billion cedis. And a GRA, a GMI, through customs division.
Okay.
And then, one project is say, one 40 to 45% in addition at the account.
Okay.
Where is going to come from? One to mean today. When I say a leakage, another rate, and also more increasing. Nipai percentage on 40 to 45 now, and obenya percentage.
Of how much?
We don't know.
Yeah,
it's in secret.
Isn't the contract anyhow? But it went to Parliament.
It's shut. No, it's in secrecy. Anyhow. Number 2, assuming say 45%, the ceiling on a 40%, it means every year they are going to make an additional 14 billion to the 31 billion. It means Wombenya 2.8 billion, if that is anything to go by, conjecturing.
Okay.
If the contract is for 5 years or 10 years or more,
are they saying say the average is 31 billion a year?
For the last 3 years.
Yes, so that's the average.
Yes.
Until any amount beyond that.
Exactly.
But this, if there are volume of
there is an volume here. But an anti-sao, AI no. Generative values about.
And AI is not foolproof.
Go and see what is happening in Tema. And then Maza, a man for Jai and the company now Obano. The true their company, the identity of this company.
Who owns it?
Maza, is the company registered in Malta.
German.
A company registered in Malta.
By a mine in India, yes, I'm from
Niama, a dear which Eban, Maza Kwame, I am yasa you need time.
You ever sound baby?
You ever sound baby?
Yeah.
About that man, yes, Ghana for, but when they're Malta for, this is something young guys in IT.
Malta no crash, search a yes, is here, Crano. Quabraniko, Oja Quentin, who exposed them.
On the brighter side of life, Samuel Oku, Member of Parliament, Equiapim North, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Richard Ochrimante and to Derek Owusu Echan from the Irish group. Harry, then Harry baby.
Chairman.
Yes.
Now, maybe I take a question. Be time now, me first. Namanti question as you to be sustaining question. Mama, etias. I feel question as but the facts of the matter is ever March 31st, 2022. Akufado air sent to that particular bill.
Which bill?
Ever court. Yeah. Now, ever court. Around so when the judgment was passed around May 4th, May 5th, 2025. Now they may part and say we know some bit me assign awaiting judgment. But I think the mechanism bit me assign waiting judgment. Into the may part the may part I didn't hear Chairman make us a brand penny for or more opinions are valid. And they say I followed them for a very long time. I follow Honorable Sylvester.
You are doing well.
At that time, and some Honorable Sylvester Kafa home where advocacy for that particular Wakafa home, maybe Reverend, and so the same thing. I think, and so the same to be and that's so consistent with what they are saying. But and I make can say Yamaya 4 years a priority as seminar his excellency from the money Mahama acquired Aquacan. One gas on the one side and on the AI issue at the port. I didn't say honorable, you are doing a very good work. And you are doing a very good work, but you do more good, sir, who provided documents backing your claim.
It's difficult to get documentation.
No, if it is difficult, how is it difficult to get documentation?
We'll get it, don't worry.
No,
on the contract.
Even applied
And they mentioned where the company was registered and all those things without a document. And I make us say, before you come to the public domain to make such claims, you must have all those things in hand. The way that to be a question be yan kasi allegations can why they and because we are honorable member.